Looks like Ethan Fox will be in the Water Wings tonight. Puck's down and we're underway. Salazar walks away with the faceoff, dumps it into the zone, wrapped around behind the Cedar Rapids net. Picked up there. They'll bang it out the far side. Carried out to neutral ice by the Riders. Into the attacking zone. It's dumped in the corner, wrapped around behind Shell. Now kicked off the boards. The Riders will fire it wide of the net. Picked up there by Eubanks. They'll fire it back to Cooper Smith. Gets it over to Elsey. Up to Salzer. Salzer off the boards ahead to Waddick. Waddick into the attacking zone. Taken away by Eubanks. He'll skate away from the boards. Drops off for Carter Molenkamp. His shot deflected just wide of the net. Big hit there by Eubanks. Puck sent back behind the net now. Salzer into the corner to dig it out. Riders will force it up the far boards. Carried into the attacking zone, and they'll dump it. I don't even know where it went. Out of play is the correct answer. We'll get Troush, Fugger, and Tyler Randall out. Carter administration on defense. Puck's down, sent into the Dubuque end. Picked up there by Meehan. He'll play it out the far side to Troush. Troush up the far side, walks away from one. Fugger just a half step off sides, and we'll get a whistle. Tyler Randall back to the faceoff dot, just outside the Riders' zone. Puck's down, wins it back to Meehan. Meehan over to Molenkamp. He'll dump it in the zone. Saints will chase. Troush in the corner now. Works his way. It's taken away by the Riders. They'll force it back up through center ice. Molenkamp over to Meehan. Meehan has it in front of the scores table, and he'll dump it into the zone. Into Colin Waddick there. Tyler Randall back behind the net. Wraps around to the near side. Sent deflected towards the net. Fugger loses an edge there, and the Riders will fire it around the near boards. Gets by Cooper Smith. Goes all the way back to the Dubuque defensive zone, where Waddick will pick it up. Sets up shot behind the net of Shell. And it's Tyler Randall still on the ice. Takes a nasty hit there. Knocked to the ice. Maddox Mitchell back behind the net. Puck squirts away. The Riders will carry it out. Jack Fugger now back into the zone. Shot. Saved by Cavier. He'll hold on for a whistle. 17 people now watching. Welcome to the broadcast. 0-0. 12 minutes and 31 seconds left in the first period. We'll get Ethan Tees out there with Maddox Mitchell and Braden Palmer. Waddick and Cooper Smith back on defense. Saints win the draw. Palmer dumps it down to the corner. The Riders will take it out to center ice. Chipped into the zone. Waddick back to get it in the corner. Spins away from one. Tries to kick it up the boards. Knocked back behind the net, and Cooper Smith back to get it. He'll play it ahead to Maddox Mitchell. Gets it out to neutral ice. Riders take it back. Big hit right there. We're going to get a call. It'll be interesting what Ethan Fox thinks we're calling here. Roughing. Roughing to the player that had the puck. Okay. So 12:01 left in the first period. The Riders will get the first power play opportunity. Tyler Randall, Owen Troush, Jack Fugger, Elsie Sukachoff will kill it off for the Saints. Randall for the draw. Puck's down, controlled by the Riders. They'll throw it back to the blue line. D-to-D from the point. Shot deflected off by Andy Shell to the corner. Throw it back to the point. Wieskamp fires it in. It's blocked by Fugger. Takes it out through center ice. It's 1-on-3. Still fires a shot just wide. Riders force it out the far side. They'll come through center ice with a little speed. Driven wide there by Tyler Randall. Now it's knocked out of the zone. Riders regroup. Dump it in from the red line. Back behind the net of Shell. He'll stop it there. Plays it off to Troush. Troush fires it around the boards. Works its way out to neutral ice where the Riders will regroup and take it into the defensive zone. Played up through the middle. Huger there to pressure him wide. Driven back towards the near side. Elsie over to get it with a little time. Sends it up. Riders controlling their own defensive zone. Troush down there. Forces them back down to the corner. Now it's played to the far side. They walk around one. Troush still back checks and forces the puck back to his brother. No one dumps it in from the far blue line. Stopped behind the net by the Riders netminder. They'll play it to the corner. Pause for effect there. Landon Lund forces a bad pass. Troush gets a shot that's blocked by the Riders D. Not sure how the first one was roughing, but that wasn't tracking from behind, but we'll take what we get. Send on net. Doesn't quite get there. It's deflected by the defense. Now shot wide. Andy Shell gloves it down, holds on for a whistle. Just 13 seconds left in that power play. Randall and Huger out. Camp and Meehan back on defense. Puck's down. The Riders force it to the slot. Shell pokes it off to the side, and Huger will carry it out of the zone. Now sends it to length on the Riders goaltender. Tyler Randall picks it up, and that's a goal. Huger made a wonderful shot on net from the far end. Tyler Randall out-hustled the Riders D, got in, picked up the loose puck, and puts the Saints on the board first, 1-0. There we go, puck's down. Riders run it forward, back to Waddick. Waddick has it there, plays it off the boards, out to neutral ice. Dumped back in by the Riders. It's a big shot on Eubanks. Now Salzer plays it ahead to Waddick. Waddick dumps it in from the blue line. Wrapped around to the far side. Eubanks will be the first one there. Held in at the blue line. Cooper Smith. Shot fired on net, kicked to the corner. Now it's Salzer, battles for it in the corner. Eubanks works it up the boards, turns and fires it towards the net. Loose puck cleared out by the Riders out to center ice. Elsie back to get it, plays it over to Waddick. Waddick now back to Elsie. She'll fire it up the far side. She's got Eubanks. Has it just outside the zone. Centers it to Waddick. His shot is deflected just over the Riders net. Cedar Rapids collects it there. They'll work it out the near side. Taken away by Wyatt Powell at center ice. They'll try and send it back in. The Riders control it there. Now they'll try and play it back out to neutral ice. Owen Troush hustles back, kicks it back to center. Out to the far corner. Powell in to chase it. Riders send it around the near boards. Troush backhands it in. Riders try and fire it back out. Still held in by Troush. Sent towards the net. Just wide of Powell. Karam's off to the far side where the Riders scoop it off the boards. And they work it out to the neutral zone. Around Sukuchov into the attacking zone. Shot. Fired high and wide around the net of Shell. Karam's all the way outside the blue line where the Riders will dump it back in. Picked up there by Owen. They'll fire it out the near side. Elsie's got it there. Played ahead to Lund. Lund centering pass is deflected. The Riders take over at their own blue line. They'll dump it into the zone. Shell gets a piece of it and slows it down. Elsie picks it up in the corner. Played up to Palmer. Ethan Tees now with the puck. Circles on his own blue line. Gives back to Troush. Wasn't expecting it, so it goes all the way back to the corner. Troush now, weak pass up the boards, taken away by the Riders. They'll walk it to the slot. Fired through the crease. Riders at the red line will dump it back in. Troush back to get it. Circles behind his own net. Hits the brakes there. Assesses the situation. Tees will give the flyby. Played off to Elsie. She'll get it ahead to Palmer. Riders take it away, try to dump it back in the zone. Now kicked out to Tees. Gets it ahead, just out of the reach of Maddox Mitchell. The considerable reach of Maddox Mitchell. I don't feel like it's a JV game if I don't make a tall joke about Maddox. Speak of the devil. Maddox Mitchell headed to the box. 2 minutes for goaltending. That'd be funny, but... So the Riders back in the power play. The first one didn't work out real well for them, but we'll see what they get. Rando and Fugger back out there. Carter administration on defense. Puck's down. Meehan will battle for it behind the net. Riders control in the corner. They'll walk it towards the face-off dot where they run into some resistance by Meehan. Knocks it back to the corner. Meehan still battles for it there. Knocks it back to the corner. Riders wheel again. Knocked to the corner again by Meehan. Maybe try somewhere else. Off to center ice. Randall hustles down. They'll play it up the near boards. It's Fugger now. All along the shot. Slot. Shot. Saved by the goaltender. Riders will carry it out. Centering pass is knocked away. Meehan flips it into the Riders zone. Fugger on his horse. The Riders will play it to the far side. Now controlled by Cedar Rapids. They'll try and get it out. Fugger still wreaking havoc in the defensive zone. Kicked over to Fugger. Dumps it in the zone. It's the side of the net. Almost snuck in the side. Now the Riders will bring it up the near side. Played ahead through the neutral zone. Off the stick of Smith. Back behind the goal line. Elsie will play it up the near side. Kicked ahead. Elliot Troush now races it down the ice. Looks for help. Cross ice pass over to Lund. Lund has the top of the circles. Throws it behind the net. Troush tries to pick it up there. Jumps over his stick twice. Neat trick. Riders now out the near side. 20 seconds left on the power play. Dumped into the zone. Cooper Smith back to get it. Plays it behind the net to Elsie. Elsie flips it ahead to Elliot Troush. He'll go back behind the net. Now 10 seconds left in the power play. Elliot will fire it out the far side, the length of the ice. That'll do it for the Riders' second power play. Good news is they didn't give up a goal on that one. Riders now out the far side. Through neutral ice, knocked away by the Saints. Picked up by Cedar Rapids. They'll dump it into the zone. Shell will stop it there. Camp reverses it. Back to Sauser. Sauser takes a shoulder into the boards. It's played back to Meehan in the corner. Little circle behind his net. Hits reverse. Comes back to the near side. Camp now up through center ice. Deflected by the Riders. Fired back in. Meehan picks it up on the side of the net. Takes it behind. Riders with a 3-player forecheck. This probably isn't going to work out well for them as the Saints come the other way. 3-on-2. Sauser carries it wide, rolls off his stick. Knocked away by Eubanks. Eubanks has got it just outside the blue line. He'll dump it in. Sauser chases. Back behind the Rider net it goes to the near corner. They'll try and force up the boards. Knocked back by Sauser. They'll reverse field. Back over to the Zamboni doors. It's Orr over there to take it away. The centering pass goes unconnected. The Riders carry it out to neutral ice. Into the attacking zone, it's Baxter. Fires a shot saved by Shell. Kick to the corner. Throws it back out front, loose in the middle. Shell bats it out to the side. And Troush now tries to glove it down. He's got it on his stick. Backhanded through the middle. Gets it ahead. I believe that's Orr. Centering pass to Powell. Gets turned away by the Riders, and Elsie will go back to get it. Plays it ahead to Owen. Lund will send it into the zone. Riders D to D. Taken away by Lund at the blue line. Bouncing puck now collected by Powell. They'll feed it back to Owen Troush. Gets it over to Elsie. Elsie up the far side ahead to Maddox Mitchell. Riders reject it. Send it back the other way for an icing call. So with just 2:48. Clock's running fast. Not a lot of whistles. Saints are ahead 1-0 and lead in shots on goal 7-3. We'll get Ethan Tees out there for the faceoff. Puck's down. Sent back to the point where Waddick's got it. Dumps it in. Just over the net. Now it's played back. Cooper Smith, his shot from the point, deflected in front by Max Mitchell. Couldn't quite get enough of it to put it in. The Riders will try and carry it out. It's taken away by the Saints. Cooper Smith now out to the far side, just over the stick of Mitchell. Riders D to D in their own zone. Forced it back up the near side again. Dumped in. That's Mitchell playing with a little more tenacity than you typically see out of him. We like it. Tyler Randall out with Elliot Troush. Jack Fugger. They're backed by the Carter administration. Puck's down. Played up the near side. Thrown ahead. Picked up there by Troush. Knocked off his stick onto the near boards. Sticks with it though. Now it's taken away by the Riders, and they'll try and force it out of the zone. Across the red line they come, taken away by Meehan. He'll reverse it back behind his own net. Molenkamp's got it there, plays it back over to Meehan, jumps over his stick. And it's Elliot Troush. Plays it ahead. The Riders take control. They'll work it back across the red line into the zone. Molenkamp with the steal. Spins away to the boards, and he'll carry it in front of his own bench. Dumped into the zone. Back behind the Rider net to the far corner. Troush, the first one on the scene. Walks away from one. Taken by the second. And now the Riders out the far side. Shot wide of the net. Karam's all the way back in front of the Dubuque bench where Tyler Randall picks it up. He'll advance it down the ice. Knocked off the puck there. Regains control. Throwing back to Eubanks. And the Riders spin and take it into the attacking zone. Just 1 minute left. Troush with a nice soccer play. Kicks it up. And it's Fugger down the ice. Fired into the Cedar Rapids defense. Played back. Waddick knocks it back down to Eubanks, who draws a penalty. So 37 seconds left. Still controlled by Waddick. He sends it back behind the net. Owen Troush lost out behind the wrong goal line. Can't quite get there. We'll get the call. So with 30 seconds left in the first period, the Saints will test out their power play unit. As Baxter head to the bench. 2 minutes for tripping. Saints unit consists of Cooper Smith, Tyler Randall, Jack Fugger, Palmer, and Tees. Face off to the left of the Cedar Rapids net. Tees will belly up to the dot for it. Puck's down, controlled by the Riders. They'll send it back to Cooper Smith on the blue line. Plays it over to Fugger. Fugger sends it towards the net. It's turned away by the Cedar Rapids D. Randall races down the board to pick it up. Circles back behind the net. All the way to the corner. Now throws it to the slot where the Riders take it away, but Palmer blocks it. Gets it back down to Tees. Tees in the corner now. Struggles to control, and the Riders poke it loose. Cooper Smith out to center ice. Regroup and fire it in, and that's the whistle on the first period. So after one, the Saints hold a 1-0 lead. Shots on goal benefit the Saints 8-3. Take it. Apparently my mic died. There was riveting commentary that you all missed there. Saints have it just inside the blue line. Played back. Jumps over the stick of Molenkamp. Now it's Molenkamp. Carries it just outside the zone. Powell holds it in there. Lund gets checked from behind into the board, so call. Josh now walks the goal line. Shot saved by the goaltender. Held on for a whistle. Oh, this mic is not playing nice. Let's try that. We'll try this mic. Talk amongst yourselves while I adjust. Meehan has it. Carries it through the neutral zone into the attacking zone. Send out to the far side. Elsie's got it there. Controlled by Salzer. He'll dump it down to the corner. Wrapped around to the near side. Held in by Cooper Smith. He'll dump it down to the corner now. Maddox Mitchell steals the puck, centering. Goes right to the Cedar Rapids D. Played down Mitchell in the corner again. Just manhandling people. Walks away from him. Sent out to the middle. Shot loose in the slot. Palmer knocks it to the corner. Mitchell back to give it. Sent the link to the ice. And it's icing.
Your feed lost Sal. Tyler just texted me.
Trying to find another cord so I can charge this other mic. That's apparently an intermission task. Puck's down to the near side. The Riders have it. Taken away by Mitchell again. Tripped. No call. Played all the way back. Cooper Smith has it in front of the Riders bench. Sent ahead. Maddox Mitchell has it there. Carries it wide. All the way behind the net. Tries to wrap it around. Get to the far side. Held in there by Waddick. Waddick aerial pass down to Mitchell. Mitchell still manhandling children in the corner. Cooper Smith pops it up. Holds it in the zone. Mitchell picks it up there. Works it to the wide side. He'll dump it in. Cameron's back behind the net. Palmer has it there. Fires it back to the other corner. Ethan Tees now comes in. Kicks it to his stick. He'll play it up the near side. Played back to the Riders, and they'll knock it out to neutral ice. Troush carries it in. Drives it wide of the net. It's poked off his stick there. Picks it back up, though. He's on the goal line. Throws it out to the middle. Shot goal! Jack Huger again. And we're 2-0 here in Dubuque. Let's try this. There we go. Palmer in for the faceoff. That's not Palmer. That's Randall. Short name. Meehan back behind the net. Plays it behind the net off to Molenkamp. Now it's Randall down the ice. It's something in front of the bench, and Elliot Troush will chip the puck up to Waddick for a whistle. Face up now at center ice. Tyler Randall bellies up to the dot. Sent forward. The Riders controlling their own defensive end. Loose puck. Troush picks it up. Fans on the shot. Well, slow roller almost. Caught the goalie on a changeup. Oh. Troush draws a penalty. Ethan Fox says roughing. So the Riders back in the power play for the third time tonight. Shots on goal for the Saints, 15-3. We'll get Tees and Lund sent out to the blue line, length of the ice. Riders goaltender will stop it and send it behind the net there. Spun out to the far side now. The Riders carry it through the neutral zone. Taken away by Tees. Dumps it back in. Unsuspecting goaltender. Saints penalty kill has been on point tonight. It's dumped in. Blocked by Troush. He'll send it the length of the ice. Save there. Lund will race down. Make life hard for the Riders. Takes it away on the near boards. Dumps it back to the corner. The Riders control and carry it up the boards. Long cross-ice pass. They'll move it across into the attacking zone. Driven all the way down in front of the Zamboni doors. Taken away there. Apparently no one heard the whistle. Still 1:11 left in the power play. Randall in for the faceoff. Wins it over to Huger, who sends it the length of the ice. He'll run it down. Riders try and send it behind the net, kind of fan on the pass. Now they'll set it up and bring it up Main Street. Across the red line, taken away by Huger. Sent back on net. I think they're using that magnetic puck tonight. It just seems to be attracted to the net. Now loose in front. Riders collect it. They'll work it back out the blue line. Into the Saints attacking zone where it's taken away by Cooper Smith. He'll chip it back out to neutral ice. Randall plays it back to Smith in the defensive zone. Long clearing pass. Riders get a piece of it, but it still trickles all the way to the end wall. They'll set up shop behind their own net. 20 seconds left on the power play. Riders out to the far side. Centering pass into the attacking zone like come. Taken away by Randall. He'll send it back. Now 10 seconds on the power play. Riders again through neutral ice. Shot blocked in front by Cooper Smith. Penalty's over. Molenkamp gets it ahead to Lund. Picked up by Troush. Gets it out to neutral ice. Riders fire it back. Collected just outside the blue line. And it's Molenkamp ahead again to Troush. Riders back to neutral ice again. Sent through the middle. Knocked down by Tees. He'll work it to the far side. Tries to get it through the legs of the defender. All the way back behind the Riders' net. It's left in the corner. Now played off the back net. To the far corner, the Riders will send it back. Cross ice pass directly to Lund. He plays for us. Centering pass. Shot just wide of the net. The Riders now on the attack. In the zone, poked off by Sukachov. Taken away by Palmer. He'll go the other way. Chipped ahead. All the way down to the end wall. Palmer wins the race there. Now Powell behind the net. Out in front! Oh, still loose. Kick to the corner. Back to Owen Troush at the blue line. Sends it towards the net. Kicked wide by the Riders D. And they'll pitchfork it out of the zone. Elsie Sukachov back to get it in front of the Zam doors. Circles back behind the net. Avoids a little trouble there. She drops it off. Gets it over to Owen Troush. Troush now. Ahead to Palmer. Palmer carries it into the zone. Tries to get it to Orr. Can't quite happen. That was a battle on the half wall. Sent back behind the net. Wyatt Powell back there. Centering pass. Nobody home. Salzer first off the bench. Picks it up. Drops it off for Cooper Smith. His shot. Gloved down by the Riders goaltender, and we'll get a whistle. 6:02 left in the second period. Shots are 19-4 in favor of the Saints. Puck's down, back behind the net. Eubanks sends it out in front. I thought Ethan Salzer was skating away like he scored a goal. He was not, and did not. Puck's down. Sent back to the blue line. Nobody home. Salzer back to get it. Cross ice pass. Picked up by Eubanks. He'll send it into the zone now. Riders D to D. Taken away by Salzer. Dumped back behind the net. And Eubanks will chase it down in the far corner. Tries to send it back behind the net. It's taken away there. Out in front. Ethan Salzer just wide. It's battled on the half wall. Rugby scrum breaks out. Rugby scrum breaks out. Now back to Waddick. Ooh, loses it in his feet. Still battles for it. Now bangs it out to center ice. Played ahead. Again. Waddick knocks it loose. Played ahead by Salzer. Drives it wide from the faceoff dot. Shot. Fans on the shot. I'm sorry, fakes a shot. Played into the skates of Fox. Riders on the far side. Taken away by Tees. Now it's Max Mitchell from the high slot. His shot's blocked by the defender. Battle for in front of the Dubuque bench. The Riders take it away. Knocked away by Tees. He'll walk it to the top of the circle. Shot, fired, saved by the Riders goaltender. Played back behind the net. Saints all over it again. Tees plays it back to Palmer. Palmer tries to get it to Meehan. It's taken away and sent back behind the net. Max Mitchell now scoops it up there. Does a little dance, gets it back to Palmer. Shot's blocked, kicks back to Mitchell. He'll play it back. There's a mouth guard. That'll distract you. Black mouth guard should be disallowed. Carter Molenkamp behind his own net now. Plays it over to Meehan. Meehan chips it back over to Mullenkamp. Mullenkamp out the far side to Elliott Troush. Elliott races it through center ice. Oh, finds a gap. Oh, got a beautiful shot off. Took the goaltender stick with it. Couldn't finish on the breakaway. Now it's Mullenkamp. Blast from the blue line. Still battling. Randall knocks it away. Comes back to Mullenkamp on the blue line. He tries to get it over to Troush. Troush has it taken away. It's leaked out just outside the blue line. Now he's got it. Gets it back in. Knocked back to center ice by the Riders. Mullenkamp will work it forward. Now plays it back to Meehan. Head to Randall. Randall advancing up the ice across the blue line. His shot's no, a centering pass. Beautiful pass. Elsie Sukuchov can't quite hold it in. Leaks all the way back to the defensive zone. Turned by Randall. He'll get it ahead to Fugger. Fugger into the zone. Spins at the top of the circles. Walks away from one. Walks it down to the faceoff dot. It's blocked by the Cedar Rapids D. Long pass back to Elsie. Elsie now to the top of the circles. Loose in the slot. Riders collect it. And they'll send it out to neutral ice. Taken away by Fugger, and he's quick to turn it on. Too quick. Now he dumps it into the zone. Picked up by Randall, top of the circles, poked off his stick. Nice hold by Owen Troush. Riders now counter it the other way. Shot blocked by Elsie. Elliott Troush gets it up ahead. Randall races it down the far side, top of the circle, tries to walk around to the slot. Saved by the Cedar Rapids goaltender. With 1:57 left in the first period. There's only 20 people watching the Riders broadcast and 29 watching ours. I think that's we're going to count that as a win. Puck's down, controlled by Waddick just outside the blue line. He sends it back to Cooper Smith, who can't quite get it. Played behind the net to Waddick. Karam's all the way over. Lund pulls it off the boards. The Riders carry it out to center ice. That was nice of them. Thanks, guys. Now fired back in. Fans on the clearing attempt. Orr's got it. Played back outside the zone. The Riders will chip it into Cooper Smith. Smith outlets to Powell. Powell now with some speed through neutral ice into the attacking zone. Spins away on the far side, sent towards the net. Covered by the Riders goaltender, and we'll get a whistle with 1:18 left in the second period. Wyatt Powell wins the faceoff over to Landon Lund. He's stripped up, no call. Played back, Cooper Smith just at the top of the circles. His shot's deflected up into the netting. 1:08 left in the second period. Shots on goal, favor the Saints, 23-4. Whole team has really been doing well this game. Jack Fugger, I think, has got both of the goals. No. Smart man would have the game stats up. Puck's down. Saved by the goaltender. Pushy, pushy, woo! That Ethan Sauser was in the middle of it. He's a troublemaker. Tyler Randall had the first goal. Jack Fugger had the second. And the Riders will head to the box. 2 minutes for punching someone in the face. Maybe it's roughing. It's hard to tell. He had his back to me. So with 1:06 left in the second period, Ethan Tees is out there with Jack Fugger, Palmer, Randall, and Cooper Smith. Face off one, back to Randall. Gives off to Cooper. Cooper now sends it over to Randall, top of the circle, back to Cooper. Gets it down low. Walks it to the slot. Blocked by the Riders D. Sent the length. Andy Shell come out to the slot to play it. Makes it interesting. Riders now got a little of that short-handed forecheck. Send out to the far side. It's Tees. Tries to leave it. Oh, picked up a little late, but still good by Palmer. Plays it back to Tees. Tees tries to get it back. Dropped off by Cooper Smith. Smith from the blue line. Sets it up to the far side. Sent through the middle. Palmer shot. Blocked in front by the defender. By Randall. Randall's got it. Cross ice pass. 10 seconds left, boys. Don't look at the clock. Shoot. Cougar works it down to the faceoff dot. It's knocked off his stick. Played out of the reach for Cooper Smith. That'll do it on our second period. So the Saints will start out the third period with 54 seconds left on the power play. Shots on goal favor the Saints. 24-4. Scores 2-0 here. Puck's down and we're underway here in the third period. Cooper Smith works it up the ice. Cross ice pass just out of the reach of Fugger for icing. Why is their feet so much farther behind than mine? Puck's down, controlled by the Saints. Cooper Smith will work it behind the net. The intensity that we had in the first two periods may have been left in the locker room. Seems like we're a little lackadaisical. Now it's Tyler Randall. He's got a little pep in his step. Carries into the zone. Fires it just off the side. Still loose in front. Saved by the Cedar Rapids goaltender. That's fine. All right. Ethan Tees to the dot. He's out there with Fugger and Palmer. Cooper Smith and Tyler Randall back on defense, still on the power play. Randall has it at the blue line. Gets it down to Palmer. Back to Randall. Gets it over to Cooper Smith. Fired back over to Randall. Walks it to the top of the circles. Centering pass. Chipped out in front. Up into the stands for a whistle. Get Landon Lunn out with Wyatt Powell or Sukachov Troush. Powell to the dot. Wins it back. Gets it over to Owen Troush. Troush shot from the point. Loose puck in front. Nice save by the Riders goaltender. Cedar Rapids plays it ahead. They tried to hit the man on the box. Saved by Shell. Kind of caught him off guard. Troush wheels behind his own net. Carries it all the way into the zone. And the Riders take it away and they'll counter punch. Back out to neutral ice. Holt turns it over on the blue line. Gets it back. Taken away by Powell. Spins it back to Elsie. Elsie's got it top of her own circles. Played ahead. Out to neutral ice. The Riders have it. They'll take it back into the defensive zone. Sent back behind the net of Shell. Elsie will pick it up there. Played up the far side. Now out to neutral ice. Knocked down by Lund. He'll send it up. Poked off his stick by the Riders D. Cedar Rapids regroups in their own defensive zone. Bladed up into the net or into the stands for a whistle. Thanks to the 29 people watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. 28, I guess, pointing that out. Someone had to leave. Waddick to the draw. One back to Molenkamp. Molenkamp gives over to Meehan. Meehan through center ice. Gets it up to Eubanks. Eubanks pushes it all the way down into the slot. It's played up the near boards. Ethan Sauser picks it up there. Knocked off his stick. Carter Molenkamp gets it back down. That's Waddick. Knocked off his stick. The Riders' ponytail player carries it out of the zone. Played ahead. Sauser now. Tripped up. Sauser carries it into the zone. High slot. Fires a shot. Kicked wide by the Riders' goaltender. Now Waddick battles for it on the near boards. Kick back to Molenkamp. He'll fire it down. Waddick knocked off the puck. Riders going for a change. It's Meehan back with it. Wheels it across the blue line. Off to Sauser. Gets it ahead. Sauser now just inside the blue line again. Dumps it down to the corner. He'll go for a change. Charles trying to sneak up on anyone. Hard to do when you're 6 foot tall. Riders send it the length of the ice for an icing. 31 people watching now. Welcome to the broadcast. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. 494 subscribers. You could be the 500th subscriber. Tyler Randall to the dot. Puck's down. Controlled by the Saints. Fugger spins away with it. Gets it off to Cooper Smith. He'll knock it down the boards. Play it out of the corner. The Riders pound it out into neutral ice. Gunkel carries it into the attacking zone. Tries to get around Waddick. Waddick forces his way through the puck. Waddick getting the job done. Not pretty, but getting the job done. Josh now forces it down the boards. Knocked loose, kicks back to Waddick again, throws it on net, just wide. Knocked back behind the net by the Riders goaltender. Centering pass to Fugger, his shot is blocked. Fugger picks it up in front of the Zamdors, wheels down behind the net. Riders take it away there, kick it over to the near corner. Tease knocks it back behind the net. They'll try the far side again. Troush knocks it up in the air. Drives it down to the corner. They'll play it up the far boards. Fugger with a big hit. Owen Troush now plays it ahead to Tease. Knocked to the far corner by Troush. Fugger goes in to chase it down. Sent all the way back to the far side. Andy Schell fires it towards the bench. Ethan Tease walks it into the attacking zone. It's knocked off his stick onto the boards. Got all kinds of defensemen jumping into play. Elsie gets in there. Now it's Troush again. Plays it over to Elsie. Elsie sends it ahead to Maddox Mitchell, who tried to blind catch it on the backhand. It never works. Back to Troush. Troush over to Sukachev. Played ahead. Maddox Mitchell gets knocked off the puck. Now it's the other way. 2-on-1. Owen Troush, big hit. Clears the puck away. There hasn't been a lot of big hits. It's been a fairly, I don't want to say non-physical, but it's been a clean game to say the least. Troush, long pass out. Got Palmer. He'll dump it in. Wraps around behind the boards. Maddox Mitchell picks it up off the boards. Wheels to the top of the circles. Fires from the slot. Big save. Again, Maddox Mitchell having a heck of a game as he leaves the ice. We got Oler and Lund out there with Powell. Carter administration on defense. Face-off won by the Riders. They'll carry it to neutral ice. Dumped into the zone. Saved by Schell. He'll hold on for a whistle. 9:25 left in the third period. Saints extending their shot lead, 30-6. Played back to the Riders D. Tip to the corner. Riders behind the net. That's Molenkamp sends it around. Held in at the point. Shot just over the head of Schell. One battles for it on the far side. Just held in by the Riders. Sent back on net. Schell stops it there. Molenkamp scurries behind his own net. Played off to Powell. Powell chips it ahead. That's Orr chasing it down to the corner. The Riders will wrap it around to the near side. Taken away by Lund. Sent back on net. Bouncing puck at the top of the circle. Controlled by the Riders. And they'll bring it out 2-on-2 the other way. Goes for a change, so it's 1-on-3. Stuck in the back of the net. You get a couple lumberjacks. I see Andy's water bottle jump up. Now the puck's loose. Out to Powell. Powell brings it out to neutral ice. All the way down the ice he comes. Cuts around 1 on the goal line now. Run into the end wall. Squirts over to Orr. Orr bangs it back to Cooper Smith. He'll fire it on net. Just wide. Carries over to Waddick now. Dumps it down below the goal line again. Sent out to the Riders. Late to the party is Eubanks. Now battling for it behind the net. Wrapped around to the near boards. The Riders will carry it up the half wall. Cross the red line. They'll come into their own attacking zone. Down to the goal line. Fires it into Shell. Shell makes the save. Waddick sends it back out to neutral ice. Baxter has it there. Back behind the net it goes. Looks like Cooper Smith back there setting up shop. Saints running this like it's a power play. You know, we're up by 2 goals, so we could stand back there for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. There they come. Cooper Smith now up through center ice. Into the attacking zone. Top of the circles. All the way down behind the goal line. Works around behind the net. Dump back down to the corner. Waddick plays it over. Jumps over the stick of Sauser. Kick back out. Waddick collects it just inside the blue line. Wheels it back down. Another centering pass. Kicks over to Elsie on the far side. Sent through the middle. Hits a couple skates. And Owen Troush drives it down low. Back to the slot. Waddick's going to pick it up there. Gets it off to Fugers. Fugers shot. Over the net. Riders will force it out to neutral ice on the far side. Picked up by Fugger. Gets it over to Randall. Randall into the attacking zone. Tries to walk around 1. Does. Loose in front. The Riders will hold on for a whistle. 6:33 left in the third period. Shots on goal 31-7. And it hasn't been that close. We'll get Carter administration, Fugger, Randall, and Troush. Not that one. Puck's down. Riders have it. High off the glass. Out to center ice. Fugger controls. Gets it over to Meehan. Meehan dumps it back behind the goal. Right out to the far side. Meehan has it there. Drops off. Riders take it away. They'll carry it across the red line. Dumped into the zone. Back behind Shell's net. He'll play it there. Mishandles it slightly. Riders now top of the circle. Shot. Saved by Shell. Can of corn. Palmer, Tees, and Mitchell jump over the boards. Identical twins Elsie Sukachev and Owen Troush back on defense. Played back to Troush. Troush will fire it off the board. Tries to get it ahead to Mitchell. Held in by the Riders. Now it's a battle on the far wall. Troush comes in, throws a nice hip check. Kicks it back behind the net. Tees picks it up there. Works behind his own net. He'll play it all the way out to center ice. Baxter catches it. Fires it back in. Shell slows it down behind the net. Troush back to get it in the corner. Head up the boards. Max Mitchell doesn't get it poked away, but Tees does. Now battle for. That's offsides. Riders back the other way. Got Owen flat-footed, but he still makes the play. Now it's Tees up through the neutral zone. He's got Mitchell with him. Drops it up for him. Shot. Fired all the way around to the far side. Troush holds it in. Dumps it in. Kicked around to the near side. Now it's back behind the net. The Riders control it there. Played all the way up the middle. No ice, so Shell plays it, wraps it around behind. Troush has it on the far side. He'll send it to the near side where it's picked up by Orr. or kicks it out to the middle. The Riders pick it up there. They'll advance it down the slot. Weak shot towards the net, held on by Shell. .436 left in the third period. Puck's down. Controlled by Waddick. He'll take it behind the net. Out to the far side. Lund gets it over. Taken away by the Riders. They'll turn and fire. Saved by Shell. Waddick now battles forward in the corner. Goes back behind the net to Smith. He'll spin and bring it up the near side. Sends it ahead to Lund. Picked up and fired back in by the Riders. Cooper Smith back to get it behind the net. Sends it all the way around to the far side, or battles for it over there. Now sent to the slot all alone. Nice save by Shell to recover. Played up the near boards. Riders turn it on a little bit. Waddick's got it in the slot. Backs it behind the net. 3:52 left. Up by 2. We could stand here all day. Now Lund will bring it out. Long pass ahead. Or has it knocked off his stick? Powell picks it up. Advances across the blue line. Takes it to the slot. Bouncing puck still loose. Flyers can't quite get a shot off. Now it's battled back behind the net. Sent out to the far side. Carter Molenkamp holds it in there. Played down to Orr. Gets it back to Meehan. Plays it off the board ahead to Wyatt. Centering pass just missed by Lund. They'll fight for it on the far boards. Eubanks late to the party again, but chips it loose. Out the far side, Molenkamp stops it with his skate, sends it back down to Eubanks. Eubanks to the corner. Powell will chase it behind the net. Powell back behind the net again. Net's off. So 2:54 left in the third period. Saints hold a 2-goal advantage. Comfortable leading the shots, 32-11. We'll get Ethan Waddick, Ethan Sauser, and I can't see, he slumped over. Can't even make a guess. Brady Eubanks. Puck won by the Riders. They'll force it up the near boards, held in by Meehan. Sends it on net. Saved by the Riders goaltender. Carried out the far side. Nice forecheck by Saucer there. Eubanks has it. Spins at the top of the circle. Walks to the other circle. Backhanded pass. Covered by the Riders goaltender. 2:33. Eubanks and Sauser stay out. So does Waddick. We get Sukachev and Travis on D. Riders have it. High off the glass. Elsie's got it at her own blue line. Fakes a pass. Now chips it out. Sauser has it on the far side. Sort of. Played all the way back behind the net. Travis back to get it. He'll wrap it around the near side. Riders take it away there. Tries to fire it back down the boards. Waddick battles for it. Eubanks as well. Now Troush with some time in the corner. Bangs it out to the blue line. Gets by the Riders D. They'll regroup and pick it up. Chipped in. Waddick's got it just inside the blue line. Sends it deep. Elliot Troush now down to the corner. Out to the blue line. Just out of the reach of Randall. Elsie plays it over to Owen. Owen sets up at his own blue line. Plays it ahead to his brother. Can't quite get it. They'll send it back. Elsie's got it now. Boys, let me show you how this is done. Plays it up to the blue line. They'll chip it over everyone's head. Back to Troush behind the net. Scooped up there by Elliot Troush. They'll race it in front of the benches. Into the attacking zone, all the way down to the slot. Backhand pass. Nice save by the Cedar Rapids goaltender. Played out to the far side. 1:10 left in the period. Riders goaltender still in net. Saints have control. They'll try and drive it out. Knocked back to the corner. Riders goaltender still in net. East Camp fires it back in. That's a high stick on Cooper Smith, and it's held on by Andy. Face off to come to the left. We'll see if the Riders think anything about a timeout or sending the goalie to the bench or ordering pizza at this point. I'm not exactly sure what they're thinking. Puck's down, controlled by Dubuque. Molencamp's got it. Fires it off the boards, ahead to Orr. It could be Palmer. That is Palmer. Cooper Smith now drops it off from Molenkamp. Played ahead to Palmer. Palmer will bring it down the near side. Good thing they let the goalie in. Shows what I know. Palmer's shot hits the side of the net. Riders have it now. Long aerial pass. Knocked down by Cooper Smith. It's on blue line. They'll go D to D over to Molenkamp. Back over to Smith. 18 seconds left. Played ahead. Nobody home. Icing. 13.4 left in the game. Shots on goal for the Saints. 35-12. Saints will wrap up with Wyatt Powell. Or Lund. Molenkamp. I can't find the fifth player. Powell gets it head to Lund. 5 seconds left. Shots. Loose puck. Go! That's off. Doesn't matter. That's the end of the game. So the final here from Dubuque. 2-0 in favor of the Saints. And Shell with his second JV win. Shots on goal wrap up at 36-12 in favor of the Saints. We'll clean the ice. Get some varsity warm-ups underway. See you back right around 8 o'clock for the start of the varsity contest. I'm Xander Stad.